This story begins in the year 1914. An 8-year-old boy was playing in a small village in Japan when he saw a strange machine moving on 4 wheels. It was the Ford Model T. Seeing it left the little boy completely amazed. That was the very first day he developed a love for cars and mechanical parts. His name was Soichiro Honda, and who could have imagined that in the future, this very name would be seen on almost every small and big vehicle around the world. Welcome again in Sticku TV. Ladies and gentlemen, Soichiro Honda was born in 1906 near Mount Fuji, Japan. His father was a blacksmith and also worked part-time repairing bicycles. Sadly, 5 of Honda's siblings had already died at a young age due to different diseases, so his parents had high hopes for him. But Honda had no interest in studies. Instead, he loved spending time in his father's bicycle repair shop. At 16, Honda saw a job advertisement in a newspaper. A company named Art Shokai, an automobile service station in Tokyo, was looking for technicians. He wrote them a letter, and luckily, he was accepted. This was the turning point of his life. He left home and school and moved to Tokyo, but his dream soon broke apart. When he reached Tokyo, instead of working with cars, the company's owner made him do cleaning jobs, and sometimes even babysitting. Honda couldn't go back home because he felt ashamed, so he kept working odd jobs. After a few months, the owner finally allowed him to work in the workshop. Honda had natural talent. Within a short time, he learned about different types of cars and mechanical parts. At that time, Art Shokai built 2 race cars using second-hand engines. These cars, named Art Daimler and Curtis, won the Japanese Motor Car Championship in 1924. Honda wasn't the driver, but he sat next to the driver as the engineer. That was the moment when Soichiro Honda decided that motorsports would become his religion. For the next few years, he worked at Art Shokai, gaining more and more experience. In 1928, when he was 22, the company owner opened a new branch in Hamamatsu and sent Honda to manage it. He started with just 1 worker, but in 2 years, he had 30 employees. Honda became a brilliant mechanic and even a racing driver. He designed a car that could reach 120 kilometers per hour, breaking all previous Japanese records, a record that lasted for the next 20 years. By now, Honda was highly valued by his employer. But destiny had different plans. In 1936, during a race, Honda had a horrific accident. He survived, but his left arm was fractured, his shoulder was dislocated, and his face had several deep scars. He could no longer continue as a mechanic or a racer. When he recovered, he proposed to his boss to start a new business manufacturing spare parts, but the idea was rejected. So Honda decided to start his own company. At the age of 30, in 1936, he opened Tokai Seiki Heavy Industry with his friend. At night, after his regular job, Honda would work on making piston rings. It wasn't easy. He failed many times and even weakened his health working day and night. Eventually, he studied metallurgy at a university to improve his designs. By 1939, after 3 years of struggle, he finally succeeded in making piston rings. He offered them to Toyota, but out of 50 designs, Toyota rejected 47. Honda was devastated. But instead of giving up, he traveled across Japan, visiting different factories and learning more. After a few years, he improved his design, and this time, his pistons passed Toyota's quality control. He started receiving huge orders and even hired 2,000 workers. But happiness didn't last long. World War II began. In 1944, an air raid destroyed Honda's factory. Then, in 1945, the atomic bombings crushed Japan's economy. Honda sold the remains of his company to Toyota for 450,000 yen and became jobless once again. At that time, Japan was suffering from extreme poverty. Food and fuel were scarce, and public transport was collapsing. One day, Honda found a small engine that had been used by the Japanese army to power wireless radios. He got an idea. Why not attach this engine to a bicycle? He built the first motorized bicycle, and people loved it because it was cheap and efficient. Demand grew so much that Honda couldn't keep up. So he wrote an open letter to 18,000 shop owners across Japan. Around 3,000 responded positively and even sent him advance payments. This allowed him to design a new engine and start large-scale production. That was the first time the Honda logo appeared on a machine. In the next few years, Honda developed a motorcycle called the Super Cub. It became an instant hit, even outselling Harley-Davidson and Triumph in America by 1958. Honda, being passionate about racing, also started making racing bikes. Winning races gave Honda international recognition. By 1960, Honda had become the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world. By 1968, they had sold 10 million motorcycles worldwide. But Honda's dream wasn't complete yet. He wanted to manufacture cars. Many advised him against it since companies like Toyota and Nissan were already dominating Japan. But he didn't listen. His first attempt was the Honda T360 pickup truck, which failed. Then he made the Honda S500 sports car, which sold only 1,300 units. Finally, after years of effort and countless rejected designs, in 1972, Honda launched the Civic. The car became a global success, and even today, the Civic is one of the most famous cars worldwide. By the 1980s, Honda had become the third largest car manufacturer in Japan, and soon the third largest in the world. From motorcycles to cars, boat engines to airplanes, and power tools, the Honda name was everywhere. In 1973, Soichiro Honda retired from the company he founded. On August 1991, at the age of 84, the legendary inventor and dreamer passed away. But his story lives on. A poor blacksmith's son who turned failures into stepping stones and built one of the world's biggest automobile empires. We hope you enjoyed this video from Sticku TV. Please like and share. Thank you very much for your love and support. See you in the next amazing video.